Well, now the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council is asking the public to disregard the 20% transport fare increment imposed by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. The GPRTU actually accused government of intentionally frustrating the process of transport fare review and served notice they have unilaterally adjusted fares by some 20% effective today, May 9. Samolama is the member of the GPRTU's communications team.
Yes, the thing is, we have decided to increase the transport fares by 20%, effect from tomorrow on the 7th of May 2022. The reason being that by the time the government gave us the 15% increment, by then the fuel price was about 7.99 Ghana cedis per litre. And the agreement between the operators and the government was that should the petroleum product goes up to 10% threshold, then we also have the opportunity or the chance to also call for an upward adjustment of the transport fares. Looking at where the petroleum product was and looking at where it is now, it has been increased about 45 to 50% as of now. And that was what we wrote to the Transport Ministry, that the agreement that we had, that any time the fuel prices goes up to 10%, we also have to come out with a transport fare increment. So from that time, we decided that we want to increase the lorry fares. But then we had a call, and what they told us was that government is working on it to reduce the petroleum product and that we should hold on. We have been holding on for all this while till the president came out last May Day that there is no way they can reduce the petroleum product. And should they reduce it, the state is going to lose about 4 billion Ghana cedis. So this news came to us, and then we also came to a round table, and we find out that there is nothing they can do about the reducing the petroleum product. That is why we also organized ourselves, did our calculations, and now we say from tomorrow, effect from tomorrow, we are coming out with 20% upward adjustment of our transport.
Well, so that's the position of the GPRTU, but the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council says the convention is that the GPRTU is supposed to dialogue with government before taking such a decision and urge the public to disregard the publications by GPRTU. So what's accounting for this decision? You have the explanation coming through from the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, which is indicating here that it wished to inform the general public, commuters and drivers in particular, to disregard the purported transfer increase, the transport fare increase of 20%. Now, the statement reads that we wish to state that transport fares has always been negotiated for and on behalf of all operators by the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council and the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. No single union or group have the capacity to determine the quantum of increment except for the two bodies mentioned above. We therefore wish to inform operators and the general public that the Transport Minister has indicated his readiness to meet with the leadership of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council and also the GPRTU on Wednesday, 11th May 2022 to commence discussions on our proposed increment in the fare. Now, we want to reiterate that the GRTCC and GPRTU have not divorced from the standing protocols for fare increment. It is therefore unjustified for any group of persons to stampede the process to announce fare increments without reference to the standing protocols. We also wish to advise the public to disregard any increase in the fares and the drivers as well to desist from charging any new fares as we continue with discussions on the appropriate adjustment, which will be signed by the representatives of the GRTCC and then GPRTU, which will be later on communicated to you. So that's the indication we're getting from the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council on this matter. I'll bring you some more updates later on. So let's stay on this a bit. well, it appears that there's some explanation coming through as well. Emmanuel Oheni, your boys, General Secretary for the Council. Fortunately, he's joining us at this time. So it's a good time to put some questions forth and get explanations to that. Well, thank you, Mr. Oheni, for joining us right now on the polls. So we understand that the transport unions, some of them are far advanced, in fact, publishing some lists in terms of the new adjustment to the fares. You are asking the public to disregard that. That would be a bit of a challenge in terms of those who would be at the receiving end of the service, isn't it?
Hello. Thank you. Can you raise your voice a bit? I didn't hear the last bit.
Yes, so you have issued a letter asking the public to disregard what it is that the GPRTU is doing. But we know already that some of the various local unions have advanced. They've in fact published new transfer rates or transport rates. So that's going to be a lot of trouble, isn't it?
Well, thank you very much. I don't see where the trouble will come from, because it's an issue that that could have been addressed in a different way than what happened yesterday and today. What I'm saying is that we have a standing protocols that will follow in transport fare increase. So for any one particular group to come out with that, smells of mischief or something, because if we continue to allow this thing to happen, like we have already indicated, there will be chaos in the system. Already, the price lists they have pasted at the various terminals. If you go there and do the calculation yourself, you can understand why we don't have to leave these things in the hands of just anybody. We have a system that when we agree on any percentage, we leave it, we give it public information and public sensitization for about a week before we implement the actual thing. So if you do that and you don't educate people, we don't do any kind of sensitization, and you go ahead to implement it, the kind of chaos we see is what is going to happen. So it's not for nothing that they are not trying, they are not even be able to implement it well as they're supposed to do. So we think it's not too late. They can back out, they can back down the decision, and let's work together and come out with a proper way of doing it.
And then you have indicated that the minister is ready to engage the group come Wednesday. What difference will that meeting make anyway?
Well, the meeting is supposed to meet and decide on what to do. That's the actual increase that should have come to the public domain. And that is what has been stampeded with this kind of thing. So all that we are saying is that the information on the public domain by the GPRTU and the other smaller groups is not the way to go. What we've been doing over the years is what we think we should continue doing, and let's maintain the status quo. But if we don't do that and we allow these things to go, tomorrow anybody can just wake up the following morning and think, well, I have to increase my fares from whatever he is. He increases it and nobody speaks to it. I don't think we are trying to build a regular or a decent society. I think we should be careful about what we're doing now to encourage people to know that they had it wrong and that they should come back for the negotiating table for us to determine what to do.
Yes, I'm asking the question about how different that meeting would be, because the group makes the argument that they've been to such meetings, they've not seen any results. They've been asking...
Who say that?
Well, at least we heard from GPRTU on this.
No, GPRTU cannot say that, because GPRTU has been part of all this. No, listen, GPRTU has been part of all these discussion meetings all this while. Since the beginning of this arrangement, 2001. The last increase of February 21st, they were part of the discussion. So why would they say they are going to normal deputies?
Yes, because they've tabled their concerns before you. So you are quite aware of the challenge that you're facing now. It's not necessarily
who tabled their concerns?
Because we've heard that from GPRTU. They're saying, well, we made the concern. We have the threshold there already.
I am telling you that, I'm saying to you now that, yes, at the last meeting, we agreed that when the cumulative effect of fuel goes beyond 10%, we will start negotiation for another increase. Now, if you remember, when the price got around 10 cedi per liter, it stabilized a bit. It stabilized for quite some time. So all of us were thinking about, okay, fine, let's wait, so that we don't go like we're going to increase fare every 2 weeks. So we waited till, they came back increasing it again to about 11 cities. That's why we all realized, no, it's going up, so we should start the negotiation for fare increase. And somehow, we didn't get the opportunity to meet the minister, and they came out with this price increase. Actually, I wrote a reminder myself to the minister. That was on Wednesday last week, and he indicated that he was traveling and that he will be back by next Wednesday to this coming Wednesday, so I will meet us. So what would have happened to us or the group if they are waiting for just 2 or 3 days to get a proper decision, to implement it without any problem or any rancor? All this airtime we are using and talking, and we should have been avoided.
Okay, let me get the difficulty of the GRTCC on this. Is it that you have a challenge with the increment in the prices or the rate at which it's being done?
We really don't. It's not as if we have a problem with it, because actually we're going to increase it anyway. But the process that led to the increase is what we are talking about. Okay. You see, if you are working as a team, I don't see how anybody can break away and just make a decision on behalf for all of us to follow. That's the difficulty we have.
So the prices. I'm sorry, just for clarity, that the prices would have gone up anyway.
The price, yes, of course. At this point, the price would have gone up anyway. But like I'm saying, the mode of implementation is what we have a problem. The problem we have is that these people just came out, decided to increase on Friday. Saturday, they went into the public domain and wanted to work from Saturday. How do you expect this thing to work well? And to be honest with you, all of us are travelers as well. We travel, our parents travel, our children travel. So if we do this and, the problems come back to eat us, if we want to be fair to ourselves, we should know that the problem will just come back to eat us.
So how about asking GPRTU directly to implement the rates which you would propose to them, perhaps as GRTCC?
The issue is that we have a tripartite committee, a tripartite team of the Ministry of Transport and the Consumer Protection. We look at all other indicators. It's not as if we are operating in a vacuum. Mind you, all the transport operators operating in Ghana here, about 90% of them operate from the public terminals, which is owned by the government. So if the government is a stakeholder, he has a terminal that you operate from, why don't you think it's a stakeholder who must have a say in whatever you do?
Well, so is that meeting going to happen on Wednesday?
It should happen, yes. It's going to happen.
Okay. We'll have to leave it here. Emmanuel Ohini Yeboah, thank you for joining us here on The Pulse.